without wasting much time, welcome everyone to the Analyst section with Costange Limited. Hope you guys are doing very well. It's been over 3 months since I saw everyone. So if this is your first time joining our section, I welcome you especially. But if you've been here before, welcome you once again. Right? So this is how the section will run. We introduce ourselves, we'll talk about what brought us here, which is data analytics. Then we'll talk a bit more about Percentage Limited as well in that overview. We'll do some task activity. There will be question and answer chat section. There will be feedback section as well. We have section 2, which the main hands-on exercise with Excel and Power BI, and it will last for 2 hours. And throughout the training, you will have opportunity. We'll go ahead and include our steps now. If you want to take this section, go back to GT to go around asking if you want to introduce themselves. Right.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. And welcome to our tester section. By name, David Odo, popularly known as GZ. Mostly a tutor with Cosenj. So you're all welcome. I also trained with Cosenj, and it has been a switch ride all along. And I believe that anybody that joins Cosenj will never regret it, because Cosenj is your one-stop shop for data analysis training and everything that has to do with IT solutions, not just data analysis as it is. But for today, we're focusing on data analysis. All right. So for introduction, like I said, we tutor with Cosenj. So yeah, I'm also an accountant by degree. Well, not a practicing one though. I'm into IT full time, and thanks to Cosenj for that. I started with Cosenj without any basic skill in data analysis, and today I could say I'm a professional, not just data analysis, but in IT. And their support system has been very, very helpful. But I believe that even if you don't have any basic knowledge of computer or any basic knowledge of general IT, with us, I can promise you that the sky is the limit. Or the sky will just be your starting point anyway, because we don't have limits at percent. We go all the way out. All right. And I believe our previous students too would have testified to that. All right. So I think the introduction, that is that from my end. Thank you very much.
Right. So do you want to go ahead with the brother first?
So, Mr. Kak Abraham, can you introduce yourself, please?
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Sikak Abraham. I am an environmental microbiologist and a certified carbon auditor. I lecture and at the same time I consult for companies that are into sustainability, basically. And I try to guide companies cut down their emissions and then achieve a net zero emission in the operations and processes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. Sopro Chukwu, can you also introduce yourself?
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Sopro Chukwu. I'm a data analyst tutor intern with Cosenj, and I'll really assure you that learning from Cosenj is one of the best things that will happen to you if you want to get to know more about data analysis and other IT related too. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Evidence, Showman. Hello, good morning, Evidence.
Next person.
She's on mute. He's on mute.
Next person, please.
Adebayo, please. Can you hear me? You can also introduce yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Evidence Ubiamaogo. Presently, I'm a healthcare assistant, but before I came to the UK, I started this job, which I'm doing temporarily. I worked with an IT firm, and I have huge interest in being a data analyst. That's why I'm here. Today is my first time actually on this platform, and I hope I'm going to through this course, I'm going to be what I actually want to be. Thank you.
You're highly
Welcome.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Adebayo, can you go on, please? All
Yeah,
right, Adebayo is on mute. Okay.
yeah, good morning. Thanks for this opportunity.
Yeah.
My name is Adebayo Blative Adeshina. I'm a researcher and a teacher in Nigeria, but I will be coming to the UK this month, by God's grace. So I have interest in that analysis, and I look forward to learning.
You are highly welcome.
Thank you.
I think Tunde is next on the list. Hello, Tunde. Good morning.
I think it's 2D. 2D.
Tunde, all right. He or she is on mute. You can't hear us. So, can Mary, please, if you can hear me, can you also introduce yourself?
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. So I currently work for an organization, but they're not really based in data analysis. That's why I'm on this training course to hopefully learn some new skills and hopefully get a job in this field.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're highly welcome.
Thank you, sir.
So, Chidema, can you hear us? Good morning. All right, Chidema is on mute. So, Rafiat, if you can hear us, please.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, good
I'm
morning.
Dr. Chidima Ezigbo. Yeah, an accountant by profession and also studied accounting and also a chartered accountant. Currently working in the state service, civil service. So I have interest in data analysis as I hope to go into academics and all that. So I got this information and I wish to be part of the program. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. You're highly welcome.
Thank you.
Rafiat, can you hear us?
Because of our time, can you just take the last
right.
question?
She's on mute. You can go on, man.
All right. We have Elochukwu here. Elochukwu is one of our students. Elochukwu will just say a few things about his experience in research. Elochukwu, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. So my name is Elochukwu. By profession, I'm a drilling engineer with Schlumberger. I have, just like we all are here right now, this is how I was just introduced to a free training. After the free training, I got interested because I found out that this is part of my daily activities. And then maybe I was doing them in a crude way, I picked interest. I called out, I decided to do the training. After the training, I found out a lot of things about that I don't know about data analysis. And then I was enthusiastic and I decided to take it a step further. I completed my training and currently I'm an intern with Koseng, and it has been an amazing journey, packed with a lot of knowledge and experience. So I will encourage you, try it out, and you will be amazed at what you will learn in Koseng. I wouldn't want to go start talking more, but the training process is the best you can ever get. Okay. So I will encourage you to do, and then you will have a lot of knowledge at the end of it. Thank you.
Imane Obi, you here?
Yes, I'm around. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Obi Manuel. I'm a student. I joined a Cosench training past 3 months. And then, to be frank, the past 3 months has really been awesome for me. It has really changed my mindset because initially I was scared. Eventually, if I hear anything that involves IT, things that involve Python, I see them to be abstract. But I joined this particular program past 3 months, and to be frank, I've really seen changes. I really had a desire. I begin to see the simplicity of data analysis. I'm a student, and currently also I'm an intern with EcoSense. And I also urge everyone to show more interest.
So I will pass on to Dr. Ishena. This is time.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I want to welcome everyone to Cosenj Data Analytics Training Tester Session today. My name is Dr. Uchenayugu. I hold a PhD in environmental engineering from the UK, Masters in environmental engineering from the UK, Bachelor's of Engineering, Civil Engineering, the University of Futo, Nigeria. I am a highly experienced lecturer and engineer, and I have been an IT demonstrator at the university here called Newcastle University for many years, and also teach sciences. I mean, it's my pleasure to welcome all of you today. I'm really excited, and this tester session will give you a glimpse into the world of data analytics. One of the most in-demand and fast-growing field today is data analytics. I can assure you that. All right. Cosenj is accredited here in the UK to provide certified IT training. It simply means that after training with us, any certificate we issue to you will be recognized by employers around the world. We are committed to equipping individuals with practical skills and the confidence you need to excel in the tech industry. That's just our mission. Our training programs are designed to be hands-on, which means you will get practical skills that industry needs, because our trainings are industry focused and tailored to meet the real world job requirement. That is why we have a lot of tasks, that involve real life data that you're going to do when you enroll with us, right? Why must you enroll with us? We are accredited here in the UK. We are recognized and trusted by employers. Last 2 months, one of the people we trained got a job that is paid over 65 grand, 5,000 pounds. Another person just got last week. People are just getting jobs with the certificates they came from us. And another amazing thing. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Another amazing good news is that the accrediting body in the UK is referring people to us, sending people to us for us to train them, which means that the government themselves have that trust that we can train people to us. So they keep sending us people. Employers, industries are also sending their staff to come and train to give them more skills to excel in their roles. So we have practical project-based learning system that we use in teaching with real-life database and industry tools. We also offer mentorship and career guidance, which means that even if you get a job now and you are called on to come for an interview, you can get in touch. We prepare you on what you need to excel in that interview. We'll cover everything about the techniques, the business sector in the UK and beyond. Wherever you are going for an interview, we'll always give you hints that will help you to excel. And we have a vibrant support network. When you enroll with us, you'll be in our WhatsApp group. You will be able to contact us anytime, any day. And all the training materials are also available online. So today's tester session is your first step towards an exciting future in the IT career. We are thrilled to have you here. So welcome to Cosenj, where career in data begins. And I assure you, you will enjoy it at the end of the day. Thank you very much.
So far, data is training, project management, website design, so about training stuff like that. Percent is also into property and real estate management. We're also into professional graphic, covering your events and videos. And we're also into data analysis for content. So if you need any of our services, feel free to reach out to us. Okay. So this is my staff, Beatrice, and the founder and CEO of Driving Back UK, also the CEO of Cosenj UK. I am a professional data analyst, also trained aspiring data, also a web design and support you with your CV development and push you for your interviews. And I have a master's degree in data. Having worked with Cosenj for over 5 years, I say that we've grown from little to where we are today. And it wouldn't have been possible without all our tutors, all our interns, and everyone. So I appreciate every one of you. The long husband as well, the chairman of the Cosenj Limited. We all have worked tirelessly and very hard. We appreciate you. We also appreciate our students who trust us enough to enroll with us. Thank you very much. That takes us to the main purpose of today's training, which is data analysis. Want to know more about data. Before we continue, does anyone have any question about Cosenj or any of our tutors? If you do, please put it in the chat. Or if you want to reach out to me, or tutor, please just reach out to you. So now, what is data analysis? Because a lot of us here might not know what data is, or they've not heard what's my head, but we just want it to be broken down to what a little bit more. Data simply means raw information, not be processed. Not a big one. Or if you bring it down to our level, data just means, when you as a person, you go for your shopping, after shopping, you just write it down. Say, oh, I bought one sandwich today. This is how much it cost. You're writing it. I bought pepper, 5 pounds. Then I bought food, 10 pounds. I bought shoes, 20 pounds. As you're writing them, what you have is called data. They are raw. It has no meaning. It's not. That brings us to what data is, right? So data analysis that means looking at those data to find useful information and make smart decisions. So you written down all the things you spent on. You spend something on food, you spend some money on transportation, you spend some money on clothing and your bills. You putting them down. But by the time you now take steps to say, okay, I can see that I spent more money on my bills than food. What you've done is what you analyze your spending to say, I think I'm spending more money on food. I need to cut down. You analyzed your spending habits. From there, you found out that you spend more money on food. And also from there, made a decision that you want to cut down on how much you spend on food. What you've done in your personal life in a nutshell is called what? Data. So you see, data analysis is very, very. And anyone here doubting, oh, that become a data analyst? That's yes, because data analysis is what you do for your day-to-day activity, your daily life. As simple as that. It's just that businesses now wants you to bring that expertise because you are very good at analyzing your personal life. They want you to bring those expertise in their business. So you see, you've transferred your personal or daily activity skills into business. I use it to make a lot of money. So data analysis means now looking at those businesses, they're looking into their data, all their sales, maybe their customer responses or their business daily activities. You're looking at that and now telling them, I think we are doing well here. We should continue doing what we are doing. Or I think we are not doing very well here. What we can do to improve our processes. So this is for data analysis. I have some examples here. Number one example is using a list of sales information to shape which product sold the most. So maybe you are into a business, you have your own company, and let's say, for example, you sell drinks. So you sell Coke, you sell Fanta, you sell wine, and you also sell maybe beer. And you now, in a particular day, you are selling, you say, I sold 5 crates of Coke, I sold 10 crates of Fanta, 20 crates of Sprite, and then I sold 5 bottles of wine, and I sold 100 crates of beer. So at the end of the day, you calculate and say, oh, the business person, I made good sales, especially on beer drinks. So what you have done is you look at your sales for that day and have come to the conclusion based on your data that you collected that you've made a lot of sales in beer. Because you stay 20 crates. Now, based on that scenario, you can decide as a business person to restock a lot more on those beer drinks. Does that make sense? Because you know that it's in high demand and customers are concentrating on that. If you do not record those information or those data about yourselves, there is high chance you will have forgotten where your business is doing very well. But because you had that time to record those information, you're able to say, oh, doing well in this area. I think we should focus more on this and make our customers happy. Does that make sense? So another example of data analysis is collecting feedback responses from customers and using the result to make the services better. Now you are selling your products. It's also good to say, okay, now we need to send some feedback forms to our customers and let's see how they feel about the service you provide to them. You send it out to your customers, they'll fill out those forms and submit back to you. You would look at those information that your customers have provided. Say, yes, based on what our customers have said, we have to action it and improve how we have provided our services to them. So you can use charts and graphs and a lot of things, Power BI reporting system, or you can use Microsoft Word and write down the findings you collected from the data. So that is data analysis. So we'll go back to the next slide now. There are some key concepts in data analytics, and that's what we're going to talk about. So one of them is data collection, but you can also call this data analysis process. So you can't just analyze data. There are processes involved in analyzing data, and we call it data lifecycle. So from data collection, which is the first one here, you gather the raw data. I think I mentioned where you are recording, okay, I sold world trends, I sold two clothing, so that you're recording them. What you are doing is taking picture. You're putting the record down. And this can be done in Microsoft form. You can do it in on the paper. You can do it directly in the database. If you enroll with Cosench, you will know what the database is and how to put in your data in there. You can also do that through surveys, like I did mention. But after collecting that data, you still need to go through another process called data cleaning, because you can't go ahead to analyze it without cleaning them. If you do that, you must skew the result. Skewing the result just means the result might not be accurate. It might be that there are some missing values there, or there were some errors that need to be removed. So you need to make sure you handle those little things by cleaning up your data and analyzing them. So after cleaning your data, there's what you call data storage. So you can actually clean up the data and say, okay, I want the data to be stored in the cloud or in the server or your computer. Anyhow you want to store those data, taking them and decide to store them. But if you don't want to store them, you can also decide to analyze those data. That is what we call data analysis. And that is, even though we talk about data analysis, there are some processes you will take for actually diving into data analysis. This is where we apply some statistical tools, methods to find out the patterns and the trends inside our data. And this could mean we're going to do some calculations like the average, mean, median, mode. You can do relation analysis, regression analysis. We'll teach you all this during the full training session. So this is what you do. After that, you begin to visualize them. You can use Power BI, you can use Tableau, you can use the Python programming language to visualize your data. You can use things like the charts and the infographics to present those data and make them look very nice. After that step, go to the stage where you have to present your findings. Because it's one thing to analyze your data and put them in a nice chart, but it's one thing else to be able to pass the information nicely to your audience so they can communicate to your manager. This is what I found out. I think we can improve our process by engaging more with our customers, or by subscribing, or by talking more on this product. So this is the decision making process in the life cycle. The only involve data archival, because having so much data in your system can be very, very cumbersome. That means that will be at a stage in your data, you can say, okay, let's archive this, or let's store this old data and secure it very well in a database or in a hard drive. Does that make sense? So you don't want to lose those data. You might need them in the next 10 years. That's why deleting your data is good, but you have to make a decision on whether you want to delete them or you want to store them in the cloud, that database. So that's the archival process. So in a nutshell, typically the process that we take in analyzing it. Let me put some in the chart, please. That takes us to two types of data. We have quantitative and qualitative data. When we say quantitative data, the word quantity means numbers. Whenever you hear quantitative data, it just means you are talking of numerical data. This kind of question can come up in an interview. You can be a very good data analyst. You can analyze data very well, but you don't know the two types of data. It can still fail you during an interview. So, and I've seen a lot of people fail interview because of this particular question. So qualitative data is descriptive data, or in a nutshell, text data. Any data in a text format is called qualitative data. And some of them are like customer reviews. You can visualize them using a pie chart. So the next slide, we have some strategies for data collection. Number one of them is through survey, which I talked about previously. So survey or questioning, there of us here have experience doing that, which can be done via email, online, by people filling the form. over the telephone, I call people and say, oh, how do you feel about this product you tested? Can give us the feedback, just like our students have done today. It is still a survey. So we collected the reviews or their testament based on what they just said now. So you can use Google Form, you can use one survey monkey or Vito to prepare an online survey, which is usually easier. You can also collect data through interviews, which involve a one-to-one or group discussion with individuals to gather information. You can also collect data by observation. I think I always give this example. You planted tomato and you planted one inside the house and planted one outside the house. And you just observe them to see which of them will do better in a period of 1 month. Then from that observation, you can construct to say, oh, the tomatoes I planted inside the house did very well than the one I planted outside the house. But that will be based on your own observation. Then you can then conclude, right? So we move to the next slide.
The Bible never said
This
beware of
the
sheep's clothing, because the attack is not upon the pulpit, but for those in the congregation. That's why in the book of Philippians,
Jesus, please help me meet everyone that is speaking, just to help us concentrate on the training. Right. So this takes us to the next slide. Who is a data analyst? Who is a data analyst? A data analyst person that collects, claims, analyzes, and interprets data to make the better decision. Okay? The data analyst is a person that collects, claims, analyzes, and interprets data to help us make better decisions. It can help organization make better decisions, or it can help you as a person make better decisions. So if you're a person that always analyzes things, then you're a very good data analyst. So when something is passed, you take your time to criticize it and look at it critically and observe and then draw a conclusion from that scenario. What you just done is analyzing that data or that scenario, so your data. A data analyst turns raw data or raw information by finding patterns and trends and insights. I think I mentioned it previously. So when you sell those products and then you look at it and say, okay, I sold more Fanta than Coke, or I sold more beers than wine, then what you are doing is you are finding patterns and then you are finding trends as well. That has also led you to finding the insight, which is, I think you should concentrate more on selling each product than the other. So that is what data is to. That takes us to the next slide. What are the roles and responsibilities of a data analyst? There are lots of them, but I've just mentioned it here, which is data collection. We collect data, we clean the data, we manage the data by storing them up in a database or data warehouse. We also analyze the data by using some statistical tools or analytical methods to explore the data. We also use the data visualization and reporting tools like Power BI to present the data clearly in a dashboard or reports. We also communicate insights to our audience. Your audience could be your customer, it could be your manager, it could be your colleagues in the office, it could be yourself. So communicating insight is very important. We do a lot of collaboration. As a data analyst, one of the things we do is we work across the organization. So you see yourself working with the CEO, working with the chairman, the board of directors, the board of trustees, managers, even the list people, technicians, and your customers. So you will work across board with everyone. This is to make sure that you understand the data better and you understand what they need. Because you can't just go on to analyze data without, first of all, gathering requirements. What do I need to show in this data? What do you need me to solve? What problem is involved in this data? The data might look very small or very large, but there is an underlying problem that needs to be solved. There's an insight that they need to see. So you can only get those information by collaborating with these people that I've just mentioned. When you collaborate, you find out what they need. Then from what they need, you will now tailor your analysis to meet their needs. That is collaboration. We also ensure that the data is in good condition, well secured. We also do a regular updates on the data. That's the data governance. The data analyst, I want to tell us now that maintaining data privacy is one of the most important things we must adhere to. Because companies cannot employ you if you don't know that you should make sure that their data doesn't go out in the public. So, for instance, you're working with percentage data. That's just an example. As a data analyst, you should know that one of your responsibilities is to make sure that that data is secure. So you're not allowed to share the company's personal data, not allowed to show it to anybody. When you're working, maybe you're working from home, make sure that your system is well secure, that you know what that is your password to your computer, that the data is well secured in an alternate place, and that you don't have any personal information lying around. That is data governance, making sure that data
Where is the
is good
celebrant?
quality, secured, private, and then that is made regularly updated and maintained. Does that make sense? Is there any question so far? If any question, just put it in the chat. So this slide now, I've just put it, I kind of composed this data analysis chart. I composed it this morning so that we can sing it together. If you did not remember anything today, please, you should remember this song. It's not a song, it's just a chant. So I would say the first line, everybody else will say the second line. You don't need to be on, you don't need to put your microphone on, but you can if you want. Who looks at data day and night? Then you will say, the data analyst gets it right. They clean, they shake, they make it clear. Then everybody will say, they find a pattern day by day. Then I will say again, they turn raw numbers into gold. Then you guys will say, they help decision to gold. Then all of us will then say, data analyst smart and wise, they find the truth behind the lies. Are we going to go together? Yes. Are we ready? Who looks at data day and night? We say a data analyst gets it right. They clean, they shake, they make it clear. We say they find a pattern day by day. They turn raw numbers into gold. They help decision to be gold. Data analysts, smart and wise, they find the truth behind the lie. I like this last one. They find the truth behind the lies. Sometimes we think, oh, I'm doing very well in my business, winning souls, I'm getting customers, hit a jackpot. But you can only decide that when you have analyzed the data. I'll give you an example. Recently, I analyzed the data for a particular department to show whether they are doing their safety trainings. So I analyzed the data and to find out that many people have not done it. And they thought they were doing it, but the data unveiled the truth that most people have not been doing their safety trainings. So the business became, on their neck to make sure that they actually done their trainings is up to date. So it kind of finds the truth. It shows us the truth. And that is the last part of the chart. I hope you enjoyed. If you want us to go over once more, just let me know. But otherwise, we'll quickly go to the next slide. So I'm going to talk about a typical day in a data analyst role. It's very important. I'm going to talk about my experience basically, but I've been a data analyst for over 6 years now. I can tell you how the data analyst role looks like. But in a nutshell, no day same. That is the nutshell. Because you are like, you sit at the top in the company that you work for. It means whatever is the gift to them is what they will take. So each day you come into the office or you come to work, it probably might be different from the yesterday or the next day. So no day is usually the same. But typically, in the mornings, you normally have meetings, so it's good to check your calendars, your emails to see if you've got any meetings in the morning when you first log in. Then when you have those meetings, if you can't remember, you can write them down so that you don't forget. Because they will use it to check your performance, whether you're attending your meetings. Those meetings very important. You can't miss your team's meeting because it helps the organization to understand what everybody has been doing, what have been working on, the goals that you have, you set for yourself. Operation, working with different people in the organization. So you have to be open to collaborate with people and meet them for requirements on what you can include in your report, or to make sure that the report that you have created aligns with their needs. So there's also a lot of learning to do. So I will always say, when you go into an organization, don't go with the mentality that you know it all. Go with a learning mindset that you are here to learn. And then in learning, you can also offer them your skills. So for example, I have been a data analyst for 6 years. Then I'll go into an organization and I'll tell them, no, I don't want to do any training because I already know it all. No, you can't know it all. So you have to be open to learn new things, because every company or every organization has a new way they do things. So you will learn the business, you will learn the way they do things, and you also learn from your colleagues. Adding knowledge each day is not a waste. So at the end of the day, you will wrap up your work and document every process that you've taken. Very important. And also remember to save your work. I remember one time I did all the nice analysis. I forgot to save it. So it means you come the next day and start all over. So don't make that mistake. But I don't make that mistake anymore. So what I do is I'm doing a report. Every 5 minutes or 3 minutes, I will click on save just to, be safe. Then you plan the task for the next day. So that's typically what we do as a data analyst each day. It mustn't be the same every day. Some days they will ask you to do something different. But in all this, you will find one of these in your day-to-day activity. But did you know that data analysis skills are in high demand across various industries? Even now, data analyst is in the shortage occupation list in the UK, which means there's a high chance of people getting into those roles and getting sponsorship in the United Kingdom. So you can do a research on that. And that brings me to, this is an opportunity for people to do the training more. So when you have this data analysis training, you have a higher chance of getting a very good job in a good company and also getting sponsorship in those roles. And it can happen without you improving yourself, and Cosench Limited is the best place to do that. There are so many careers opportunities, and these are the ones this just but a few I've listed here. Feel free to request for this slide if you want to. Can be a data analyst, data consultant, performance analyst, marketing analyst, data scientist, operations analyst. But if you do get an interview and you need help, you can apply for our mock interview section and we'll get in touch with you. There are so many tools that you can learn as a data analyst. One of them is Excel. You can learn Power BI. You can learn Excel, Power BI, Python programming language, SQL, and the rest of them. So we're going to do an activity, a little activity I have planned here. Choose one daily activity you do regularly. So I have activity 1 and activity 2. For activity 1, how much money you spend each day? How much money do you spend each day? And activity 2 is how long do you spend on your phone each day? You can choose any of this activity. So this is how the activity is going to work. So you will
open a brand new Excel spreadsheet like this one. And inside the Excel spreadsheet, you're going to create a data for yourself. So that's data collection. We've started. So you are going to have, if you're choosing the first activity, activity 1, how much money you spend each day. So you're going to start entering this type of data, the date, the item you bought that day, the total money you spent on that day. So just 3 columns of data collection. If you're choosing activity 2, how long you spend on your phone each day. How long do you spend on your phone each day? So it means you're choosing this particular version of the spreadsheet, the day of the week. So you just have the day of the week, then hours on your phone, on the phone. How many hours you spend on your phone? So just 2 columns. So this activity will last for 5 minutes, right? Is anybody trying the activity? I'm going to come down here and see. So activity 1 is how much money you spend each day, how long you spend on your phone each day. Okay? So what would it be? If you don't know how to open your Excel, you can search it on the start menu. You just search for Excel and then open the Excel app and you click on blank workbook. And we'll start typing. The first one will be date. That's if you're choosing activity 1. The first column, you will have date. The second column, you should have, after date, you should have the second one, which is what did you spend the money on? So what did you spend the money on, or the item that you bought? It's up to you what you want to call that column. But we're going to have the second column, the item that I bought or item bought. Then the third one is total money you spent on that item. Total money spent, right? Are we there, guys? Can one person say yes or no?
Yes, we're there. Oh yeah, we are already done.
Okay, good. So activity 1, how much I spend on each day. Activity 2, so if you are doing activity 2, the same thing, week, day of the week in the first column. Then the second column, hours spent, or how long you spent on my phone. So we are doing what we call data collection, right? So now, once you have them done, you can start entering the dates. Today is already 13/09/2025. So this is just a demo data. The item we bought could be, I would say, food. Total money spent, I would say 1,000. This can be pounds or naira. So I don't want to put the amount just to make it rational. Then you can put the same day. Some people can spend 5 times in a day. They can go shopping 5 times in a day. So if you've gone again today again, you put the date 2025, and that same today you've bought shoes. Today you bought shoes, then you spend 15,000. You write it down. Same today, you spent say 25, you spent on maybe jewelries. Jewelry. You spent on jewelry, and in jewelry you spend 20,000. So you write it down. So you can repeat this process over and over again as long as you want. I just want to duplicate it. So once you finish collecting your data, I can do, because for the sake of analysis, I can say this one will be up maybe February, March, can have some for February, another one for January, and another one for January again, just to make it a random number. So let me know if you've entered your own data. Then for those that spend on their phone, you will just have Monday, Tuesday. You highlight both of them and go down. It will give you the rest of the day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. How many hours you spent? Maybe you spent 20 hours on Monday and spent 5 hours on Tuesday. You spent 7 hours. You spent 0 hours. And one Thursday, maybe you are working. The other day you spent 10 hours. Just like that. So you can write down how long you spent in those days. Okay. Right. Does that make sense? So what you've done now is called what? Data collection. Then after collecting your data, you can say, okay, I need to find out which items I've spent more on. So what we can do now is to maybe use some graphs to show this. I'll just highlight my own data, and then I'll go to insert. I'll go to recommended chart. I just want to see how far I've been spending on each of those items. So you can do your analysis. Say, okay, I want to see that. It can show us that on the 13th of September, you had the highest spending, but we now need to know what items did I spend them on. So I can still highlight the items that you bought, go to insert, recommended chart. So it can show that you spent more on food, followed by jewelry, and then shoes. So you can make a decision and say, okay, it's like we're doing too much food waste in this house. Let's cut down on food, on our food spending. That way, you can save money. And you can go ahead to analyze, okay, this is how much I've saved by cutting down. So next month, you can compare this month and last month, how much you saved in your spending. You can do the same for how long you spend on your phone in a week. So just highlight the area of your data, go to insert, recommended chart, and then it will show you how you spend your time on the phone. Always use a line chart. Okay. Does that make sense? So this is called data collection. You did not just collect data, but you went ahead to show some insights around your spending. And your spending have shown you that you spent more on this so day, and based on that spending, you actually spent more on food. Does that make sense? So I hope you guys enjoyed the activity. I want to know how many people participated in this activity. I want to come to the meeting now. So how many people participated in the activity?
Sorry, can we go back?
Obinna Oba, well done. Who else?
Actually, me, I have lost things.
Good. Yes, Ideka, good. Bella, good. Mary, wonderful. Somebody have already shared their own. Udu, well done. Excellent. I love this. You see, I encourage everyone here or not here to take up this training. This is some of the feedback we've received from a lot of people. I've just read one from Toyin, Jeezy, David Chigozie Odo say, working as a data analyst tutor with Cosenge has been an incredibly positive experience. The organization is extremely well run, providing tutors with the resources and support needed to effectively train the next generation of data professionals. He said he's particularly impressed with the quality and enthusiasm of the students who are eager to learn and apply concept tools in their tools. Okay? Cosenge fosters a truly collaborative atmosphere that values practical hands-on learning. I am proud to contribute to its mission and making data analytics education accessible. So thank you for that feedback, Jeezy. Jumoke said, I have been contemplating switching career into data analytics field, and the free training organized by Cosenge gave me confidence to begin. So we are also certified. She mentioned all those and she highly recommends. So please, have you guys scanned the QR code? Let me know if you need help. Please leave us a review. It helps us to do better. And it helps us to know that we are doing well. Thank you. Help me shake the charts and see if we have any feedback or questions.
Yeah, someone asked
Yeah,
how to join the. Someone asked about how to join, so we can just share the link for joining and the process if they want to register now.
Okay, yeah, we'll share that in the next slide. Have we all scanned the QR code for feedback for us? Thank you. If you need me to reshare it, let me know. But for our time, I need to go to the next slide. So we're going to just talk about the next batches. The next batch starts 22nd of September. So for the person that, Joel, you asked how you can enroll, this is it. We have the 6 weeks training for our Nigerian students only, 110,000 pounds, not pounds, naira. 110,000 naira only for 6 weeks. Then we have the 12 weeks training, 370 pounds for our group section, minimum of 4 groups. It can be more than that. Then we have our one-to-one section, which is 1,200 pounds only. If you need a discount, additional discount for the one-to-one training, you can get in touch. Don't be scared, okay? But the group section has been subsidized to the minimum level. One-to-one training, it can be paid up to 4 installments. And for the group training, the 370 pounds, it can be paid up to 3 installments. But for the Nigerian one, it's all in one. So you have to pay only once. Just for our own, because we pay for these trainings, right? And we've made it almost free for our Nigerian students. So this is the Cosenge networking group. If you join this group, automatically you've gotten Cosenge official WhatsApp number and official number. So you can reach out to us using that mobile number. Okay? Okay, you can send us an email on contacts@cosenge.co.uk. So every information is on our website. Or if you want a quicker response, you can use our WhatsApp group. Thank you, Jeezy, for that. So the
Thank you,
benefit
sir.
of enrolling with Cosenj, we are CPD certified. We are CPD certified, meaning that you get a certificate upon completion. Data analyst portfolio, you can have portfolio because there's a lot of live projects that you will get hands-on doing throughout your training. There's also mentorship and support going on inside Cosenj. We don't joke with mentorship. So once you enroll with Cosenj, automatically we can support you to get to any level you want to get to. Okay, it's individual choice. There's also flexibility because our training is only organized based on everyone's availability. So we normally get together on the first day to agree on which days we want the trainings to be. So once the students agree on the days the training will be, then that's the days it will be. Of course, it has to align with the tutor's availability too. But we always find a common ground to make it as flexible as possible. Our trainings are 4 hours a week, and students can choose how they want to use the 4 hours, whether they want to use it twice a week or they want to use it on the weekends or weekly basis. So it's all the students or the group's choice.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, Yusuf?
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I came in late too. I came in during the time you are trying to show us how to use Excel, and I actually joined that time, but I don't know how to move down to the chat that people are showing their screen. That is number one. And the number two, the 101 training is what I'll be interested in joining. So, but I'll call you later to discuss that. But once I don't know if we can go back once we come back for the break to show how to work on Excel.
Yes,
Again,
we're
all
going
over
to
again.
yes, we're going to dive into our Excel. So you can see the QR code for the Excel data. That's the data for today. So now we have this data, but we need to have our own copies. For us to have our own copy, we'll click on File and click on Create a Copy and then Download a Copy. It's just to make sure that everybody has their own personal copy. We don't want to all work on inside this particular one. This one is for everyone. But if you want to have your own copy, you go to File, click on Create a Copy, then click on Download a Copy. Once you click on it, it will then create a copy of the Excel spreadsheet that is different from the one that we have now. Okay, so I'll do it again. To have your own copy, you click on File, create a copy, download a copy, and once it's downloaded, you open the downloaded version and you should find it in Excel. Was that clear? Okay, so I think we can make a start. I'm sure most people now has the data with them. And can I continue?
Yes, we can. You can go on now.
All right. So this is UK water consumption data that we're asked to analyze. We can see that it has region, year, water, subcategory, source, water supplied per day, water consumption per day, population, the water served, leakage, milliliter per day, leakage rate, and then efficiency index. So we have this data. As a data analyst, once you collect this data, you begin to ask yourself, what kind of data is this? And I've already said it is UK water consumption data. Now, the next thing you also ask yourself is the data in a good structure? We've collected it. Is it a good structure? Are there anything that is missing that we need to look at? We can see that there are some missing values here. We can also see that the data is not where, formatted. We need to format it properly. We can also see that some columns don't have any information in them. So we're going to now take the steps to, first of all, standardize the data. If there is any standardization that needs to be done, that just means maybe some are in small letters, some are in capital letter. We need to make sure that they are all okay. We also need to make sure that the format is in a better structure and format. And then we also need to make sure that we fill in all the missing values. Right, so the first thing is I will highlight the entire data set. To highlight it, you just place your cursor on the first column and highlight and drag across. You will see between the last two columns, K and L, you will place your cursor at the end. Once you double click, it will automatically put the columns in the right order. So for instance, you might get a data that looks this way, right? Now we need to make sure that it is well formatted so that every information can be seen very well. So for us to do that, we will highlight the entire data set and then target the last column, which is column L, sorry, let's get it to K, and then double click and it will all spread out and you can see the information properly. Did everybody understand how I did this, or should I do it again?
Please do it again.
Was it clear? Yeah? All right, so since it is clear, we can proceed to the next stage. Now we have our data formatted. The first format has been done. We can also change the heading color and the size. So by highlighting row 1, the first row is usually the heading. Then you can change the color if you want. So let's change the background color. I use blue. And then I'll change the text color. And I can also change the text size so that you guys can see it properly. You can also make it bold. And once you do that, you can spread out your column again. So that way you can see the heading at a glance. You don't have to force your eyes to see the heading. So I always like the heading to be just a bit bigger than the actual data. Have we all done this? If you are not following or you need me to repeat anything, please raise your hand. Otherwise, I will continue. Okay. Yusuf. So
Yeah,
why do you want me to repeat everything or some of the things?
From the beginning, ma, please.
Did you say some? Do Control Z from beginning. So we have this data that we asked to analyze. So the first thing is you highlight the whole column. To highlight a column, you already know that this is your column. The alphabetical lines are your columns. The numerical lines are your rows. Does that make sense, everyone? Yusuf?
Yes.
So now we want to make sure that the columns are well spread out so that we can see all the information in it. So you have to highlight it. To highlight it, you place your cursor on column A. Column means alphabets. So the alphabetical lines are the columns. So once you place your cursor on the alphabet A, automatically the cursor will change to downward black arrow. or black downward arrow. You double click and drag it to the last column, which is column K. And once you drag it there, you will target column K, the last bit of it. Once you target properly, the arrow will change to black cross. You double click on it, it should be able to spread the data out properly. Then we will see every single information in it. Have we all done it now? Yes, Yusuf?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So secondly, we will change the heading color. The heading color is just the row, first row. Remember, rows are the numerical part of your Excel environment. So the first one is the row. So we'll highlight the first row, which is the heading. The first line is the heading. So you can format it. Formatting means you're going to apply some changes to it. You can change the background color. The fill color here is a background color. I choose this one. You can choose any color of your choice. The text color is the one that has A. You change the text color. Make sure the text color rhymes with the background color. You can change the size. I choose 14. And you can make it bold. So once you've done that, you can highlight it back again and expand it so that you see the colors properly. So that is how we arrived to that point. Is it clear now, Yusuf?
Yes, it is.
Right. Is it clear, everyone? So the next step is now we also have to find a way to fix the missing values. We can see that in column H, there are some values that are not there. It's missing. But we can do what we call statistical analysis. We can perform what is called statistical analysis and then use our average to fill in the missing values. But we don't know much about this data, so we can check the information it holds. So another thing we can also do is to apply filter on the data. So to apply filter, you still highlight the heading, and then you go under home menu, you go to editing. So every part of Excel has sub-menus. Sub-menus like font, alignment, number, style, cell, editing. So if I say go to home menu and go to sub-menu editing, so you have to find editing here. Then we'll go to sort and filter under editing and then apply filter. So the filter will help us to see the information that our data holds. So because we need to check what information is there. So let's look at region. We have different region. We have East Midland, London, Northeast, Northwest, Scotland, and the rest of them. We didn't know these regions in full, except with this filter now. We can also look at the years in the data. We can see that we have the data ranging from 2022 to 2024 for water consumption. Then we have quarter 1 to quarter 4. Then we have subcategories: agriculture, domestic, and industrial. Then we have groundwater, reservoir, or river water. So there are different kinds of water now. Okay, then we have, let me just expand it a little bit more. Expand. So we have water supplied per day. So we have some water that was supplied per day. We have water consumption per day. We have the population served. But in the water population served, we have blank at the bottom. So we have to fix that error. In the leakage per day is blank. Leakage rate is also blank. efficiency index is also blank. So we need to find a way to sort those out. So for the population served, one of the things we can do is to perform a statistical analysis, and we can do it by the side here. First, we need to know the sum of population served, because that's the major concerns. We have concerns here. That's the first concerns. There's missing value. So we need to know how many people have been served. We need to find the sum. We need to find the average. We're also showing us how to perform the statistical analysis now. So I'm just about to do that before you cut me short. So I said we found out there are missing values here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So we need to perform some statistical analysis to fix those gaps. And that's what I'm doing now. So one of the things we're going to do is to calculate the sum. We're going to calculate the average. We're going to calculate median, mode, and the rest of them. So let's start with the sum first. So anytime you want to perform calculation in Excel, you have to put your equal to sign first. Now we want to calculate the sum of population served. I will just put my cursor in column H and hit enter on my keyboard so that we can get, okay, I'll put sum. Then on the sum, you double click on it and then put my cursor in column H. It will give us the sum of population served. So we can say sum of population served. So the sum of population served is that amount of people. Does that make sense? So we can go ahead to find the average. I'll put my equal to sign. Then we're going to look at average now. You just start typing the formula average. Excel will automatically show you the calculation you want to perform. You double click on it. Once the bracket opens, then you will click on column H again, which is population served, and hit enter on your keyboard. It will give us the average of the population that has been served. So for the sake of the people that did not really get this, I'll do it one more time from beginning. We want to perform some statistical analysis to understand how best we can fill in the missing values. We can't fix that without performing statistical analysis. And I just mentioned that and the calculation you can do are something like sum, average, mean, median, mode, standard deviation, and the rest of them. So we're going to look at calculating, first of all, the sum of population served, which should be, now I said in Excel, the first thing you must do is to put your equal to sign when you want to perform a calculation. So once you put your equal to sign, Excel will automatically know you want to perform a calculation. So the first one is sum. Once you see the sum, double click on it. Even though you have typed it fully, you still need to double click. And once the bracket opens, you will just go to column H and highlight it and hit enter. So once you do that, that is the sum of population served. So we're going to do the same for average population served. You already know what I want to type. Average of population served will be the same, equal to first. Start typing the word average. Excel will give you a hint. Double click on the average. Once the bracket is open, go to column H, which is population served. Click on it and hit enter on your keyboard. You will get the average. For us to get the median, we want to get the median now, median of population served. I'll just go equal to again, then start typing the word median. Double click on it. Once the bracket is open, Click on column H, which is population served, hit enter, will give us the median. The same thing for mode, equal to mode, we have our mode here. Click on column H, population served, enter, we'll get our mode. I would also like us to get our maximum population served. Population served. I will just use this word PS or population served for those that might want to watch the video. Mode of population served, median population served, and average population served. So let's look at the maximum equals to, remember, max. Then we're going to look at column H again. We want to look at the maximum value. That's the maximum value. We also want to look at the minimum value of population served. Which should be the first thing to do is what? Equal to sign again. Then you start typing the minimum, which is MIN. It will be mean. The mean there just means minimum. MAX means maximum. Then you click on column H, enter, we'll have our maximum. The minimum now, sorry. So we have our maximum and we have our minimum. You can also calculate your standard deviation, STV, standard deviation. So which equals to, you start typing your standard deviation, STDVP, and then click on the population served, enter. Standard deviation is a V. So once you've done all this calculation, it's going to guide us on how best to fix those missing values. If you want, you can put your, somebody has a question, right? No hand is up. Don't worry, I can go over it if you want. Want to put the table, I'll use all borders. And then I'm going to just call this my statistical analysis. So you can also give that a border. I can change the background color if you want, the text color. So that's our statistical analysis in a nutshell. Was it clear?
Hello, Beatrice, can you hear me?
Does anybody wants me to go over the statistical analysis, or
can you
do
hear
all
me?
do it?
Yeah,
I can
hello,
hear you
Mark.
now.
Can
I can hear you now.
Right. Okay. Someone was suggesting adding variance.
Variance. Cost variance. This shows the population served. So, was that clear? And change the color to suit it, to look like everybody.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay.
Yes. What's the difference between var.p and varp and var?
Okay. They are all the same. You can use anyone to give you the same result. Does that make sense? So Excel is just bringing in different other methods. So if I still use var.p, it will give me the same thing. Equals to var. So I used, which one? I used this one first. Let me use this one now. Did you see that? It's just different technique. You can use any of them to give you the same answer. Does that make sense? So it's just like when you want to perform standard deviation, you will see different new ones they are bringing in. At the end, you arrive at the same answer. If you are doing concatenation, you see different methods, different formulas, you arrive at the same answer. Does that answer your question? Yeah. So we have our statistical analysis. So now we're going to use that analysis to fix the missing value, and it's very easy. You can now decide which one to use. I will always say it's best to use the average, because when you collect average, you get the best result. So we're going to use the average to fix the missing value. That's my average. I'm going to paste this as plain text. I need that average to fix my missing value. I still delete it. We're now about to use the statistical analysis to fix the missing values, and it's pretty straightforward. I have my average. The average was 255,000 plus pounds or people. So first, I'm going to unselect everything. I'll just go to, first, you go to the column H, which is population served. We will unselect all other numerical numbers or populations and only select the blanks and click OK. So now I'm going to select the areas I need to replace. Then I will go to find and select. Then I'll go to replace. So it's going to find what? Blanks, and it's going to replace it with our average. And I'll click on replace all and click OK and click on close. So we now see that the blanks has been replaced and we used average to replace them. As simple as that. Do you want me to repeat this?
Please, you can do that now. It will be nice. I think when you were moving your cursor, you didn't really say where your cursor is going to, but it will be good if you can repeat it just quickly. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so now we all know how we did the statistical analysis, but we've chosen to use the average to replace the missing value because the average is usually the most accurate, right? So when you take an average of something, it becomes one of the overall, right? So for us to do that, first, we will go to column H, which is population served, where we have the missing values or the blanks. Then we're going to click on the drop down because we already have a filter we applied before. We're going to click on this select all to unselect everything. Once we do that, we will scroll down to the bottom and select only blanks. Once select only the blanks, we'll click OK. Now, we have the blank selected. All we want to do is to use our average to fix the missing value. So I will just select the areas I want to replace. Under my home menu, I will still go to editing. Remember, we have sub-menu, editing. Then I will look for find and select and click on it. Then I will choose replace. Now, you should have your average copied. Make sure you have it on copied or you have it offhead. Then you will now paste it here. I always like to copy it so that I'll be as accurate as possible. What are we finding? We are finding blanks. So you don't need to put anything there because it's blank. What are we replacing it with? We are replacing it with the average that we've just calculated. And once you inserted that in, you click on replace all. Was that clear? We have 20 replacements made. Click OK. And then you can now click that. But replacing everything, you now need to come back to your column H and click on clear filter from population served so that it will return everything back to normal. So now, if we check column H again and scroll down to the bottom, we can see we don't have any more blanks or missing values. So we fixed everything. Does that make sense?
Okay, ma'am. Got it.
If there's any
Thank you, ma'am.
question, you can put it in the chat. But if there's none, we can move to the next task, which is we have been asked to calculate leakage per day. The leakage per day. What is the leakage? I will explain that. We can see that we have water supplied per day. This is the water that was supplied per day for each of these regions. Right? They supply that number of water per day, but they have consumed that amount. So the leakage is now the water supplied minus the consumption. Does that make sense? Leakage is, a company, a water company, they are serving people water. They served us 1,000 milliliter of water, but we only used 800 out of the water that was served. The leakage is what? 200. Does that make sense? Yes. So that is exactly what we are doing here. This is water that was supplied for each region. This is how much they consumed. So the leakage will be what? Will be equals to, as usual, for us to calculate the leakage, we'll now use equal to sign. Now, I want to make some note before we continue. There are two ways of performing calculation in Excel. You see, the previous one we did, it was pretty easy because it is a column by column calculation. With column by column calculation, you can just one click and then hit enter and it's done. But when it's a row-based calculation, it's a bit different because you have to do it row by row this time around. But the first process is the same. You put your equal to sign. That's number one thing you must do. Then we're going to calculate the difference now. Water supplied, which is F2 minus consumption per day. Hit enter. So we have our consumption per day for each region. But for us to now get the rest of them, we'll target the dot. You can see small dot cube is green. So when you double click on it, it should fill down the result and give us the calculation as easy as ABC. So you don't need to do it one after the other. So I'll do it again for those that need it to be repeated. First of all, I talked about leakage. Leakage means we were supplied 100 milliliter of water today. We only spent 800. Leakage is the difference between the water supplied and the consumed. So we're going to do it here now. They were supplied 1682 water a day. They only use 1568. The leakage will be the difference between the both of them. So now, for us to perform the calculation in Excel, the first thing we must do is to put our equal to sign. Then water supplied, click on it, minus water consumption. Hit enter. As easy as that. But we don't need to keep doing it for each of them. It will waste us the whole of today. The best to do is, you will see a dotted cube. If you double click on it, it will fill down the rest of the calculation. So we are done with column I. Was that clear, everyone? Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Now,
very
by
clear,
raising
ma'am.
your hand, sorry.
Yes. Thank you very much, ma'am. I just want to ask, just for curiosity, is it possible for the water consumption to be greater than the water supplied? I know definitely for water leakage to be calculated, the water supplied must be greater than the quantity supplied must be greater than the water consumed. But is there any instance, not just for this statistic, not just for this this spreadsheet, but is there any instance whatsoever where something like this will be done and will have a negative result, like minus this, minus that? And if we have
Yes.
that, what do we do?
Yes, so it means that the region is not getting enough supply. So action needs to be put in place. Like I know some region in the past, not recently, the water supplied was less than consumption. It means people needed more. Does that make sense? People,
Exactly,
but
exactly.
remember, consumption has to be from what is available. But we can now get people's opinion to say, okay, feedback, we need more water. People can say we need more water. Let's assume a company comes to your house and supply you 1 full tanker, right? Obina, just out of curiosity, 1 full tanker. Is there any other one you will use outside the 1 full tanker?
At all,
They
no.
supply the 1 full tanker, that's the supplied.
Yes.
Does that make sense? It's just like saying
Exactly.
that any other one on top of that 1 full tanker is a miracle because they didn't supply you that one anyways.
Yes, ma'am.
But what you can now do is when you have finished using that water, you can go and say to the company that water was not enough. We needed maybe additional half tanker to be enough for us. So they'll put that into consideration. Yes, blessing Uka, we can have access to the recording. Obina, did I answer your question? But yes,
Yes, ma'am. Thank
there will
you.
be a case where consumption is higher than available, and that basically means that there is no water. All right.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, let's go ahead. The water was not enough. Then we now go over to leakage rate. Leakage rate. The leakage rate is just the leakage divided by the water supplied. The rate of leakage in a region, or they want to calculate, is there leakage? What is the rate of the leakage, right? So which should be equal to what we have calculated now. You just use divide on your keyboard, divided by water supplied, enter. So that's our leakage rate. If you fill it down, you will now get that each region has different leakages. That's excess water means the company still has water, enough water remaining. Okay, so and it's by region. You can say though some region has zero leakage rate. That means the water that was supplied to them, they used everything. Okay. Then
the divide backslash.
say that again.
The divide.
Is anybody
Did you
saying
mean
anything?
backslash?
So efficiency
Ma, he was
index
asking. Hello, ma.
is yeah.
Hello, ma. Sorry. He was asking, did you divide? He was asking, the person asking your question was asking, did you divide? I think that was what he was
Yes.
trying to say. And
Yes,
he
we
was asking,
divide.
what did you divide it by? What did you divide it by? That was what I think he was trying to say, if I get him clear. If I got him clear, sorry.
So we say
the divide button,
that
the tab for the divide is backslash.
okay. The leakage rate is equals to, remember your equal to sign is always the first thing to do. Your leakage per day divided by, yes, the total water supplied that day. Does that make sense? That's I2 divided by F2. Enter. We'll have the leakage rate. Then you fill down. Did that answer your question? Yeah. The
Yes, ma, I
efficiency
think you must have.
I've been muted. So we'll now go ahead to calculate the efficiency index. Efficiency, that's how efficient the company is in providing water, will now be the leakage minus 100%, leakage rate minus 100%, or 100% minus leakage rate. So you just say 100% minus the leakage rate. That should give you your this thing equals to 100%. Please remember to put your percent minus your leakage rate should give you the efficiency index. Okay, so I will do it again. For us to get the efficiency index, we will now say 100% because the leakage rate is 7%. If efficiency index is just the remaining balance in the leakage rate. So if you say 100% minus 7%, it should give you the efficiency index. So, but remember your equal to sign comes first, then you put in your 100 and your percent word, sign rather, minus J2, that's leakage rate for that region. So our efficiency index will be what? 93%. Then you can fill it down and you have your efficiency index. So that is the last calculation done. So in a nutshell now, we've succeeded to get the region, the year, the quarter, the subcategory, the water consumption, the water supplied, population that they served, all the details are complete and accurate. We have our leakage per day, we have our leakage rate per day, we have our efficiency index. At this stage, what you have done is called data analysis. We did not only do data analysis, we also carried out some exploratory data analysis by finding out some missing values, standardizing the data, and then performing some statistical analysis and using it to fix the missing values. And then we have also calculated the rest of the columns. So this is data analysis, but we're not done yet anyways. So the next thing will now be, we need to visualize this data. Since we have it in this form, this particular structure is mostly for high-leveled analysts, or we call them some people that don't have a clue about data jargon. They can't really understand what you have done. So if someone is not technical about data, this will be so much for them to understand. So how can you present it in such a way that it will be easier for everyone to understand? This is where your reporting comes in. You can use dashboard, you can use Excel, we can use Power BI, but we're going to use Power BI to present this. But before we go to Power BI, any question? And to check.
So, sorry, just one question. I'll be taking us back a bit, though I got every other thing, but I just realized that pasting the replacement value wasn't working for me, so I had to type it in. But I don't know how
everything.
Say again.
Okay. You typed everything.
Yes, I have to type in the average value. No, into the replacement box.
I know.
Yeah, pasting it into that dialog box that comes up where it says replace with.
Okay.
I couldn't paste into that box. I had to type into that box.
Okay. To paste into that box, because this has a formula, you have to right click. Let's say we'll copy the average again. You have to right click, copy, and then somewhere paste it as plain text 1, 2, 3, so that it's no longer a formula. That's what I did. Then I double click and copy the number. Does that make sense? And then deleted it.
Okay. So you
Then when
copied
I
the
go,
number, not the cell.
not this, you don't copy this cell because
So you have to
it has
double
a
click in
formula.
it. Yeah.
Yes, you have to double click inside of it and copy the number.
Okay, thank you.
But before you copy the number, you need to paste it as value. Does that
Yeah, I
make
get
sense?
it. Yeah, that's
So
fine.
that
Thank
if we
you.
now go to find and replace, you can paste it. Does that make sense?
Yes,
So I'll
thank you.
do it one more time just so that you are clear. I want to copy this standard deviation, but it has a formula. So I have to right click, copy. I don't want to paste it there. I can't paste it with that the way it is. So I will right click again in a blank space and paste it as value 1, 2, 3. Then I will then double click inside the cell and copy everything just as it is, and then delete what I already had. So that when I go to find and replace, I'm able to paste that because it's a value now. Did you answer your question, Adeyinka?
Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah? I can't hear anymore. Okay. I guess that answered your question. Otherwise, we are going straight into Power BI. Any questions so far? No. So I guess everybody here has their Power BI downloaded, but if you don't have it, you can scan the QR code and download it. If you need the link to download it, indicate in the chat, please. Downloaded Power BI, it should be in this place. You should have something like this if you have downloaded it or you've opened it. So once you're done with your analysis in Excel, I'm safe to say I can delete this one for now. We now need to bring this into Power BI for analysis. So I can rename this sheet to data. And then make sure you save your work. I'm going to click on save so that every changes I've made will be saved. Because if you don't save it, the changes will not appear automatically in your Power BI report, unless, of course, if it's in autosave. So I've saved my work. I can safely close it. Then I'll go to my Power BI and start my dashboard development. You know how you open this online? You can just say insert pivot table from table range, then a new worksheet. Okay. So that you can do the analysis online. Does that make sense, Udo? If you don't have Power BI, you can do that. But unfortunately, we're not focused on that one today. If you know how to use your pivot table, then go ahead and use your pivot table. Or you can do directly inside your Excel by going back to the file right in here. And then you just click on insert. You just choose the columns you want. Maybe you want to show region. You then hold your Control and Shift. You want to show region by leakage rate by region. Let me to select both of them. Both selected. I have this and that. Normally, we'll let you select both of them. This and this. Then if you select that, you go to insert. Then you select any column, recommended charts, and then insert it. You can select all of them, recommended charts, and it will show you. But it's not the best because most organizations, they want people that have experience with Power BI. So that's why we want to use Power BI to do that. So let's say Obi and every other person, are you ready? Can we proceed?
Yes, ma'am. We can proceed anyway. We can proceed. I've not done it, but we can proceed. It's still, I'm having some little challenges, but you can proceed. I'll just be following from here. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So you can get the recording. If you're taking up the full training, don't worry. Just be looking. We'll grab you from where you are. Okay. So click on blank report if you have your Power BI open. Once you click on blank report, you should see yourself inside the Power BI environment. That is how it looks like if you have not seen it before. Now, we need to get the data that we have in Excel and bring it into here. So I'm just going to close this and I'm not saving those changes I was showing we'll do. So what we'll do is back to my Power BI. Let me know if you can see your screen, my screen, and you can also hear me. But this is very important that you know how to use Power BI. Very, very important. Now, we need to get their data in Excel. You have what you call get data. There are so many places you can get the data from. You can get the data from by clicking on get data, or you can on the environment. This place is called Canvas. On the Canvas area, you can click on import data from Excel, SQL Server, or any other places. You click on get data from another source. It will take you to where you get your data from. Or if you go to File, you can still click on Get Data. So Power BI is very interactive. It will have different places you can do one thing. So that you don't say, I cannot find it. You find it almost everywhere. But I like to use this particular one, Get Data. Since we have our data in Excel, so I'll click on Excel Workbook. Then it will take me to where I have saved my data. So that's this one for me. I'll click on Open. So once you open your data, it will bring up this dialog box. Ensure you click on the box. There's a small cube. Once you click on it, it should be ticked with green. So once it's ticked with green, it means you've selected your data. Then this is just a preview, and you click on Load. So that is how to get data into Power BI from Excel. We'll just wait for it to load in, and we'll have our data. Was that clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's clear.
So once we have our data, this is our data area. You have to open it up because it will just be the name of the spreadsheet that's showing. But if you open this arrow, you would see the actual columns from our Excel spreadsheet. You can see the year, the subcategory, all the calculations we've done. So we're going to do a very simple dashboard, nothing too much, just a very simple dashboard. And then you can see the visualizations. We have different visuals. We have your column charts, bar charts, line charts, pie charts, and your map charts. The rest of them, like tables and scorecards, so we'll use few of them today. But if you want to get the full training, you have to enroll. So now, let's start with a line chart. So you click on the chart that you want. So this is the data area, like I mentioned again. This is the visualization area. This is the filter area. We're not concentrating on that one. We're going to show water consumption by region. We're going to show water consumption by region. So always know that the first axis is for test data or non-numerical data, while the second axis is usually for numerical data. Now, Why I state that is because if you take another visual, the names will change, but what I said now remains the same. The first axis or the first field is usually for non-numerical data or test data. The second field is for numerical data. So let's try it out. I'll pick region and put it in the first area. Then I'll take the water consumption and put in second area. So it will show us water consumption by region. Then, if I want to show another visuals, I will click on the background or canvas. Remember, I said that this is the canvas area. We'll take a bar chart, for example. We can show leakage rate by region. So let's show leakage rate by region. So remember, anyone that is test will go in the first axis, pick the leakage rate and put the second axis. So you can see the leakage rate by region. I'll click on the background again. I will pick a line chart again. I want to show the yearly trend of water leakage. So have our water leakage. So the year has been formatted as number, but I want to format it as test. So I'm going to quickly go to my table view, see if I can do it from there and change this to test data. Good, so that my year can go there, so that to show me the yearly trend, because it was formatted as numerical value. Year is not a number, year is actually a date, right? So we have to show the date trend, the yearly trend. You can see that there was more leakage in the year 2022, followed by 2024, and then 2023. Right? So let's do one more. We have our scorecard. I want to use this card 1, 2, 3, just to show the summary of our data. We want to show the total water consumption. We also want to show total water supplied. We can also show the population, total population is served. I want to show it all in a scorecard. This scorecard is one of the most important things you must use in your report, because it shows like a summary, totals of everything happening in your data. There might be a line, but we still need to show the total population it's served. Very important. And you can only do that using what? These scorecards. Then we can also show the leakage that we have. I hope everybody is following. It's pretty easy and straightforward to do. Now, is there any other visual analysis we can show? We can show many other things like subcategory. Let's say we don't want to show region. We can show a subcategory. So we have different 3 subcategories: agriculture, industrial, and domestic. So now I want to make this our dashboard look a bit presentable, because right now it's not looking that presentable. So we can change the background color. When you change the background color, you have the time to now arrange your dashboard in a more presented way. So we can click on the canvas and we go to format your report page or format your visual, as the case may be. We'll go to canvas background, then we can choose a color. You can choose any color of your choice. And remember to set the transparency to 0, because the transparency will show exactly where the dashboard, how the color, you want the color to be a little bit more transparent, you have to adjust your transparency accordingly. So once you've chosen your color, you can begin to arrange your dashboard in order. You can see that this needed to be adjusted and probably them being the same height and width. So you can take your time and adjust them as the case may be. The red line will also guide you on how best to adjust it. You will see a line that shows whether they are in the same line or not. So I just want to adjust mine. And then I'll bring this one down to meet this one, because I want to use the top for my dashboard label. So it's always good to give your dashboard a title. So we'll use text box to do that. Most time, everything you need for your dashboard design is on the home button menu. So I'm going to title my dashboard and I want to call it UK water consumption dashboard. So I'll highlight it and make it bigger and bold, and also change the color. If you want to change this font size style, you can change that. I also want to change the background color of this so I'll go to my design. Under general, go to effect. I want to change the background color to something else to suit my report. So you can use any color of your choice. It's up to you. So once you do that, you can centralize this by putting it at the center. And can shift this a little bit more. I centralized. If it's too big, you can adjust it. It's okay for me. So everybody can see it properly. Very simple and easy, isn't it? I want to see, did anybody complete this dashboard? Okay. Chinedu, you have a question, your hand is up.
Oh yeah, thank you so much for so far. Okay, so my question is this. So please, can you like recreate this dashboard again? Sorry, like I wasn't really following. Like, can you recreate the dashboard again in that Power BI?
So which part did you miss it? Is it from beginning or some areas?
Okay, when you bring these analyses together in a box and how you're able to name them.
Okay, it's automatic. I didn't name
Okay.
anything. So Power BI is very interactive. It automatically names all these things for us.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah, so I'm going to start a new one. I said all you need to do is, already know this is your background or your canvas. This is your data area. This is where you pick the visuals that you want. So if you pick any of these visuals, say a line chart, it will come in here. All you need to do is pick any data point of your choice. Let's say we want to show region by water consumption. So we'll just pick region and put it in the first axis, and then put water consumption in the y-axis. And that will show you the result. Does that make sense? So I was saying that you don't really need to put anything. Power BI automatically labels everything for you. Does that make sense now?
Yeah.
Yeah? Chinedu?
Yes, I heard you. I said yes.
Okay. So you can, if you want to show another analysis, you click on the background. Let's assume you want a pie chart. You click on pie chart and you can show subcategory by putting it in the first axis. And then you can show leakage rate and putting it in the value. Automatically, it will show you everything that you need to see. See, I did not label anything. Automatically, Power BI has shown me that this is sum of leakage rate by subcategory, and it has shown me their percentages by the subcategory. You see?
Okay.
So you can show maybe with area chart, the same thing. Let's say we want to show the yearly trend. So we can put the year in the first axis and we put the leakage in the y-axis. We want to see how many leakages we have by year. So you can show that as well. I don't know if that made sense.
Yes, that makes sense. And again, I want to ask, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So from what I'm seeing, it's like okay. So if you have a data set, so the Power BI will just help you to or kind of recommend the best graph to use for the data set, right?
It will not help you to recommend the graph. You will choose the graph. So you see what I'm doing. You will choose the graph you want.
Okay.
Let's say I want stacked area chart. You have to choose it first.
Okay.
Then you will now pick the data points and put in there. Automatically, it will perform the labeling for you, but you have to show it what to do.
Okay, I see.
Does that make sense? So you will pick the, if I want to change this one now to a donor chart, it will change, but I have to give it the order on what to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to show it what to do for me, then it will do it. So you kind of direct it, then it will choose the graph for you. Sometimes it does recommend, but the one it will recommend for you might not be the one you want.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to choose the right graph for the right visual. So we'll learn all those in the full training as well. How to know which visual you need to use for each analysis.
Okay.
Then you will now add a kind of title. Add a kind of title to your report at the top just to show what it is. And put that there. You can centralize it and probably change the color and make it bigger. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So that is how to design a simple Power BI dashboard. Does any other person have any question?
Yes,
Thank
ma.
you so much.
Yes, ma. Can I ask,
Okay.
ma, please? Okay, can you go back to the Power BI page?
Okay. I'm here.
Okay, ma. The first question is, when we want to delete, do we just click on the particular chart and then do backspace, or is there any other way to delete it? Just if you want to change the chart.
You can use the delete on your keyboard, or you can click on these three dots and choose remove.
Okay. Okay, that's my first question. Then my second question is, there's a chart where you have year. Okay, in the chart where you have year, what if I decide to put the year in the second, the other diagonal? What happens if I don't want to put it there? If I don't want to make it horizontal, if I want to put it at the left-hand side, what happens? How would it be like?
You can, is it to sort the axis? You want it to show the other way around?
No, I know you said when we want to make our chart, our graph, you said, I know you said the first, I think, how did you call it? The first pointer there, you said is for non-numerical. I know that was what you said. And said the second one is numerical. Am I correct? So my question now is the one that is for non-numerical, if I put numerical column there. So what happens? Will it not give a graph, or will it give a graph in the opposite?
Give you a graph. To give you a graph, but it will convert it to numerical. So for example now, and it will not make sense. Let me give you an example. So I want to show yearly trend of leakage, right? And I've picked picked a line graph, and I'll pick year and put it in the numerical side, and I pick leakage and put it here. Does it make sense? Because automatically it has converted the year to number. Have you seen that?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Which is not an accurate analysis. It doesn't even make sense. But the same field that you've used, but because you put accurately, the year should go in the first axis and the leakage should go in the second axis. This is the right one. This was the same insight you wanted to show, but because you put it in different places, it will show different results. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am, it does. So the second axis is always the non-numerical.
This first axis is for non-numerical. The second one is for numerical.
Numerical.
So anything you put here, even though it's non-numerical and you put it in here, it will convert it to numerical because it's supposed to be for only numbers. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question? That's the end of our training, guys. If you enjoyed the training, you can leave us a feedback here.
X-axis will be the what? Numerical.
Why I don't want to call it X-axis is because each visual we call it different names. So this is line graph, right? This is X and Y.
Line graph, for example.
Yeah, in line graph, it is X and Y, right? But in pie chart, it will be called legend and value, but it's still X and Y. The same order. So the first axis, the first field will be for non-numerical, the second will be for numerical. That's the best way to not forget it. Because if I go to column chart, now, it will be different. It's Y and X. Did you see that?
Yes. So
it's now the Y at the top, it's X at the bottom. On this one, X at the top. But if I tell you now that X axis should be numerical, Y axis should be non-numerical, what about when you now pick this column chart?
So what is the standard? The first one will be numerical.
Yeah, now because Y axis now at the top, if you follow that X and Y stuff, it will be wrong. You will not say that I say that Y axis must be numerical, but here is X and Y, but here is what? Y and X. On this one is called legend and value. But in general, right, if you follow this standard, you will not get it wrong. That the first field is for non-numerical values, while the second field is for numerical values, then you will not forget it. Does that make sense? It's just a trick that I use.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, so thank you so much. I like your training.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome. So leave us a review for that comment. Just what you just said now, I like your training. Click just scan this QR code and say it so that everybody will see it. Does that make sense? Yes, thank you. If you're going for the 6 weeks training, it's just for 110 pounds, 10,000 naira. If you're going for the 3 months group section, it's 370 pounds only. If you're going for the one-to-one section, it's 1,200 pounds only. Okay, but if you want, you can call us for any negotiation if you want a further discount on the one-to-one, right? Yeah. I think that answered the question. Any other question? Please leave a review. Yes, please leave us a review. It's only Cosenj account Cosenj Limited, and you have to look at it very, very well. Cosenj Limited, the account number, the sort code, and everything is there. If you want to pay from Nigeria, you will have to pay through our online platform, or I can send you another account details that you need to pay into. You can pay directly through our website for the 6 weeks training. Does that make sense? You just register, click, and then pay. That's all. If you have any issues with the payment link, get in touch with Cosenj via email, and we can take the payment by sending you another account details. So we have 2 account details for our Nigerian payment. Because our UK, we only take payment from UK accounts. You can pay directly to our UK account, or you pay via our Nigerian account. Does that make sense? All right, thank you. Bye.